won Super Bowl 59.
Dude, it gave me goosebumps watching it.
Being pulled up to the stadium with the snow tires on, the tinted windows. Many men came on, and it was just a murder.
This guy wins. Look at his record. Look at his stats. Thank God he's a Philadelphia Eagle.
You can mark this down. I think the Eagles are hosting the NFC Championship game.
I don't care how it looks at this point, as long as it's a win.
Vaughn came up with it.
Oh, Bond's an animal.
That guy's playing at an all-pro level.
I mean, you could have heard that from a mile, dude. That stadium was loud.
Let's get scratching.
Lock in, Brews. It's another Speaking Birds. What is up, my Brews? My bird Brews. We are back. It's another Speaking Birds. We're joined today with the boy John. What's up, man?
What's going on? How we doing?
Whoo, doing good. Doing good. Just got back to the West Coast. We're back recording at the Stew. We're both remote again. But it was fun doing that the In Live pregame show. Recording together for that pregame show. That was pretty fun.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Now we figured it out.
Yeah, we finally got it. There was always a snag. There was always something that kept us up, but we figured it out this time, and I thought it went pretty smooth. On the way back west, I came out before the Birds. They're going to be heading here, I think probably Saturday, but I got back, spent a little over 24 hours in Philly. My flight back was out of Philly, and I had a few meals. Man, notably, I finally got to check out Monk's.
Nice.
So Monk's is it's like a bar, it's like a pub. Highly renowned, amongst beer heads. They have a great selection. But man, it was sweet. So yeah, it's this cozy place, especially in the winter. You go in, everything's wood. It's like they have like Belgian style beer and food, and it was really nice. I ended up just they had a ton of Hill Farmstead, which is a Vermont brewery. So I tried the Edward. It was good. It was good. I will say, and I love a cold beer, but it was a little on the not warm beer, but you know what I mean when it's just not as cold as you want it to be.
Yep, I sure do.
Yeah. But I mean, look, the variety is great. They have a ton of Russian River, which will be your Pliny the Elders. They had Blind Pig, which is great, but being from the West Coast or living out here, you can get that stuff pretty easily. So I didn't get any of that. But if you're from the Philly area, that's definitely a must go and get, because that's great beer as well. And I will say though, with that being said, man, I had their burger. They're known for their great burgers. That thing was amazing. I got I forget what it was called, but it came with Cooper Sharp and pickled red onions. I don't know how you feel about that.
Not my favorite, but
yeah, it was good. But they had a couple different variations. But man, it was cooked proper. Just a nice patty. I mean, I'd have to give that burger. I won't go crazy on it. I would do like an 8.8, an 8.8.
Shoo.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
It was good. If I had to nitpick something, I mean, it was a proper size, but when you just want like a big burger, like just like a huge patty. Yeah, I was kind of in the mood for that, but the flavors didn't disappoint. The beef didn't disappoint. The bun was on point. It was a good experience overall. Didn't do much, so I had the one beer there. Stopped by Victory Brewing, which is a nice little spot right there by Logan Square. Everyone's so friendly, and just it's a good tap room. It's a good brewery. Got their lager, their Victory lager, and it was hoppy. I love a hoppy lager. So man, that was good. And that was pretty much it. Stopped by. I'm like I was there for a little over 24 hours. I have all these spots. Had a little cheesesteak on a corner. I think it was like Pete's Brothers. I'll have to look it up, but it was a good cheesesteak. And I want to talk to you about this. Like, I feel like there's tons of cheesesteak reviews, but I feel like you almost got to put them in two separate categories.
Mm-hmm.
There's a steak that's like a casual eat, and then there's a steak like Angelo's, or like Delisandro's that's gonna like knock you out for the day. And I wasn't in the mood for something like that, so we went to this, just kind of off the beaten path place, and it was a good steak. Just kind of your standard your standard steak. It wasn't a seeded roll, which I know you like, but it still was. It was a great and it was a great meal. Season the steak was seasoned to perfection. You got to get that Cooper Sharp on there. So yeah, little beer, little food tour around Philly. Um, yeah, that's kind of that's kind of where I kicked around.
Not too shabby.
What?
Solid
Yeah,
day.
yeah, call it a day. So yeah, it was always a great food in Beer City. But let's get into the nitty gritty. Why we're here? There's some news. Some news broke today. Jalen Carter, he'll be out this Monday against the Chargers. He had a procedure done on both shoulders. I don't think we know what the actual procedure was, but that's going to be a huge hit. Having Jalen Carter out, and this won't land him on the IR. I think he's week to week, so we'll see. But those shoulder injuries, I mean, that's kind of your bread and butter if you're a D lineman, right?
Yeah, and you could tell they were bothering them throughout the season. So I guess better to get it done now and be ready for the playoffs if this team turns it around. So
Ooh, big
when this
if.
team
And,
turns it around.
yeah. Oh yeah. And so yeah, I mean, you look at the depth there. Moro Ojimo is probably going to see some more time, and man, a guy that I was really high on, Ty Robinson, who was supposed to be this, plug and play, ready-made product. You haven't really seen much. Now, granted, you're playing behind Ojimo and Carter. Carter's been playing more snaps than he has been. So there's not a ton of opportunity for him. But yeah, we'll see more Robinson.
Yeah, I
So
look
that's
forward to
exciting.
that. See what he's got.
Man, I hope he's a beast. He's got to be. You got to step up, next man up. And shout out Clayton. Clayton brought this up. Was it man? We could have used Booker, and didn't we trade him for? Was he in the Jacorian Bennett trade?
Bennett. Yep. Yeah, you got traded for Bennett.
I don't know. If you want to put Howie's offseason under a microscope, that's another one. I don't know what that move was. Bringing in Bennett. I mean, obviously some depth, some competition, but he hasn't played on the field.
They can't even get him on the field. That's the problem.
Is he injured? What's going on with him? He's not practicing well.
I mean, maybe Vic just doesn't like him. Usually when he doesn't like a guy, that guy's not
He's not going
playing.
to get on
But
the field.
I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Who knows? But we could have definitely used Booker, some book
For
in
sure.
that scenario. How do you feel about the D line? Given that we're going to be down Carter.
I mean, I feel okay with it being down Carter because you watch some of the games. He wasn't, 100% Carter and what you're used to. Obviously, in that Bears game, they got ran all over. So, obviously you could tell Jalen Carter wasn't at 100%, maybe not even 80%. You know what I mean with the shoulders. But I feel okay in the next game. Guys are gonna have to come in and play. And get the next man up vibe. And, maybe you can even throw BG in there a little bit to play inside because he's played inside a little bit. So we'll see.
Yeah, just to your point, we can talk about the Bears game a little bit, but yeah, getting rushed all over. I mean, Chicago had 47 carries for 281 yards.
Yep.
I mean, that's obscene. But like the defense has been playing, I don't know, elite. Like they've been carrying this team. At some point, they're getting tired. At
I
some point,
mean,
something's got to give.
that's a good point there because in the last 4 games, the Eagles defense has played 275 snaps. And in that Bears game, they played 47 snaps in the first half, which is basically unfucking heard of. You know what I mean?
100%. And we're like what? I don't know how this stat's said,
Sorry.
but like we're top of the league in 3 and outs.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
our
especially
team is just
just punting. 3
our
and out
defense
punt.
is just they're not getting any breaks. They're getting off the field and they're coming right back on. I mean, you just can't win football games like that. It's got to be a balance.
Yeah, I mean, and that it really takes time, when you can't run the ball or you're not running the ball real well, and then you're just throwing. So the 3 and out, it's basically almost like the Chip Kelly era. You 3 and out, and
Yeah.
20 seconds, and it's right. The D can't even get a drink. They're right back on. It's embarrassing, to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, speaking of Chip Kelly, an
Ugh.
offensive coordinator, play calling, like what do you do? I mean, at this point, we talk about it so much, but it continues to be a problem. Nothing's getting figured out. We have to continue to talk about this. Like, it seems Sirianni does not want to move on from Kevin Patullo. He's been asked about it post game. He's been asked about it, Monday, Tuesday, early in the week. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's not showing his cards, which I get, maybe it doesn't make sense to, but is something going to change? There's Parks Frazier, there's Leffler. Is Sirianni going to take the play calling back? We know he can't do it.
Frank
But
Reich
what's
just became available. They hired a different coach at Stanford. You got Chip Kelly that just got fired and talked about a reunion, which is crazy as fuck. I wouldn't do that,
geez.
but
Well, let me
yeah.
talk to you about that. Like, yeah, like Frank Reich, like Peterson, Doug Peterson's name has been thrown out there. I think it's too late in the season for like an external hire, right? Like you'd almost have to have
Maybe
someone internally.
maybe not a consultant. You know what I mean? If you
Oh
can
yeah,
bring in a
consultant.
consultant vibe, because, and to me, if you're going to bring in a consultant, it's almost got to be Doug Peterson or Frank Reich because they were both quarterbacks. You know what I mean? So we got to, get Jalen
Yeah,
some love there and some vision, and try to help him there. That would be my best scenario.
right. Yeah, I don't know. I think if I had to pick a solution, I mean I don't even know. I would say either Parks Frazier or Scott
Leffler.
Leffler.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know. The fact that he continues to, I get you trying to ride with your guy, but it's getting a little fucking old. So,
Yeah, well, we saw that's kind of the downfall with Doug Peterson. He rode with his guys, and we saw how that turned out.
yep.
And there's a lot like, it's not necessarily all play calling duties. You go throughout the week, maybe they're making changes in, meetings, who's speaking up more, maybe, they're allowing one of these guys we mentioned to, have more of a say, or I don't know. I don't know how that looks. If you're waiting till this point to do that, then that's pretty embarrassing. Um, but who
Well,
knows?
here's
I
something.
don't know.
The Eagles' offense is just extremely predictable here. So we have the highest hitch
Right.
route rate, lowest cross route rate, bottom 5 in pre-snap motion, bottom 2 in play action fakes. AJ Brown lines up in the slot less than any other receiver in the league. So
Yeah.
now I know Nick came in his presser and he said they're going to evaluate everything, but I mean, I just hope he's telling the truth on this one and shit starts to change because if not, you might as well wrap it up.
Yeah. So speaking of Hertz, there were reports circulating, and I'm sure you saw this about him. His preference is not running the ball as much, which ultimately hurts the offense. So in his press conference today, I just listened to it right before we recorded. He was asked about it, and he basically pushes back. He says he asks, do you mind me asking where this came from? How you guys came to this conclusion, or where this? So he denies it, but I don't believe that. And I mean, look, maybe it's for longevity for the team. He feels, he's gives the team the best chance to win when he's out there, which, you could talk about Tanner McKee or not, but whatever. If he feels that way, maybe he doesn't want to run as much, or maybe he's just looking at for his career longevity. When you run, you put yourself in position to potentially get injured, which he doesn't want. But I don't know. I think as we go down the stretch here, he's got to start running more.
Yeah, I mean, and to his advantage or to his, if this is true to his point, you're running behind one of the worst offensive lines that's playing right now.
Right.
Our rushing attacks basically non-existent. So I can't say that I blame him there, but also,
But don't you?
you're seeing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but don't you think the threat of him running would open up the run
Sure.
game a little bit?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what they did like last year with more like the run pass option. You know what I mean? That's really where
Right.
they start to kill because when you load the box or whatever, they go after Saquon or whoever on the fake, and then the pass isn't there and he takes off. Like that's the last option, and usually nobody has the spy, or they do have the spy, but he can usually beat it. So
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I think, I was trying to think of like positives, moving forward. And I think maybe as we get, we're in December, as we get, down the stretch here, maybe they open it up a little bit and he starts running. I don't know. I'm not sure.
we got to figure it out. The one thing I did notice is this week I was looking at the pressure rates. Steen has given up. I lost it. I don't know the exact number. I think it was 20.
Yeah.
27. I don't know. I got to look it back up, but I have it. Yeah, Steen has 27 pressures this year. He's the fourth most in the league, so he's given up pressures pretty much multiple times a game. And then Dickerson has 24, which is ninth in the league. So it's like the pass protection isn't too great either.
Yeah. And I like for Dickerson and like Jurgens and these, I think that is the Super Bowl fatigue. I don't know. Like they're just injured and tired. But at some point, I mean, you just got to get it done.
Yeah, for sure. And there is
And
times like
maybe that's yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I mean, there's times where like you're watching the all 22, and these receivers are open, and they don't throw over the middle. We don't run crossers, obviously, by what I just said. It's like you got to start opening the vision up. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be the quarterback, you got to see that you're missing guys up the middle. It's kind of annoying.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was listening to I think Sheil Kapadi had a segment on maybe it was maybe WIP or something, but he's talking about, is it Jalen not wanting to throw across the middle? Is it him not wanting to run? And in the offseason, he says, like, do you sit him down and say, to win games, you got to do this? And I think you do. I think you do it now. Like you got to
Here's
throw
another
across
thing.
the
Like,
middle.
do you think he can't see it?
Maybe. Is he short?
I mean, he's
Is he too
shorter.
short?
He's not
Yeah. I think he's
crazy
6.
short, but he's shorter.
I think
Yeah.
he's 6 foot. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why he doesn't want to do that. He's
And the
6'1", it's
few,
listed as, so.
yeah, the few that he has thrown, I know he's missed a couple throws up the middle there. I remember, tight end up the middle, which would have been an obvious touchdown a couple games ago. So,
Was missing Devontae, that's not across the middle.
yeah, from what I saw, he thought Devontae was going to sit down on that route as opposed to the short post or whatever, the slant.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. So we're referencing, so Hard Knocks came out. Hard Knocks is the HBO show that it follows around. It could be a team. They've switched it to a division now. So this year they're following the NFC East, which obviously includes the Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, and Giants. And what we're referencing is they followed the game. Was it against the Cowboys that clip came from?
Oh, that was the Bears.
Oh, the Bears. I didn't watch it. I refuse to. I don't know. But yeah, so he misses Devontae, and he does take accountability on the sideline, which a lot of people have been talking about. Have you watched it yet?
I have not watched it, but I saw a little bit of that on obviously social media.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the one thing that bothers me is like, why do you like? Obviously, there's a miscommunication, but just thinking as somebody who's obviously not a quarterback, but just thinking
Right.
common sense wise, don't you want to hit this guy in stride? You know what I mean? And let him get
Right.
yards because it's gonna go big. Why do you want him to sit down on it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much of it is on Hurts. It
Yeah, I
just
don't know. I
seems
don't
like
know
they're
what the
not.
communication is either. So
It just seems like it's just this landslide. I mean, like when is it going to stop?
gotta
When are they
stop
going to?
soon, or it's gonna be getting ugly.
Well, we're waiting for it to click. We've been waiting for it to click all season. It's just one of those seasons where it's not clicking.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy. I don't know. Okay. In other news, our boy Darius Slay gets released by the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, he's got to go through the waiver wires because he's we're past the deadline. And the Bills scoop him up. And apparently we had a claim in on him, and they would have been close because they have the same record, the Bills and the Eagles. I don't know. Would Detroit have been after us? What is their
That
record?
I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I guess it would have went to different technicalities, maybe
Yeah,
wins,
right.
losses, and who they're against. I don't know how it works exactly, but
Okay. So the
not
Lions are
sure.
7-5. So they would have potentially picked before the
Yeah,
Bills.
yeah.
So man, maybe they pass on it. But man, the Bills scoop in there. There was a lot of speculation, maybe some hope that we could bring Slay back and he could offer his services to our DB room. But it's not out of the question. It's
No,
not
no.
over.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, he may retire, but realistically, I think they did that so that he couldn't return to Philadelphia because they're just cheap like that.
Petty.
The whole fucking tush push thing
Right.
McDermott was crying about and shit. You know what I mean? Just to take another jab. But if he retires, if he says he won't report, I mean, the nice thing I guess to do would be release him. But who knows what they'll do?
Right. Yeah, so at this point he's notified the Bills that he needs a few days to think about it. He doesn't want to go to Buffalo, so he said I don't want to say the word threatened, but he notified them that he's potentially going to retire. So basically, yeah, if he retires, the Bills will retain his rights and nothing can happen there. Now, yeah, like you mentioned, sort of the nice handshake thing to do. Hey, you're a veteran in the league. You come to us and you say, look, I wanted to go here. This is my I'm sure his family is still in Philly. I mean, he's got kids. I'm sure they're in school. Hey, I want to go back to Philadelphia and I know the system and it's going to be easier for me. Um, the nice thing to do, as an organization is just grant him his wish and release him. But yeah, like you said, I think this is a petty thing. I went on their team subreddit and their fans are out of control. They're so mad about it. They're like, oh man, hold his rights, hold his right. I don't know. That's a petty thing. I think it's a situation where Howie has to make a phone call to their GM. I believe it's Bean. Is that his name?
Well, I
And
mean,
just say, look, do us a favor here, and maybe we'll get you down the line, right?
here's another thing. Like, who wants a guy that wants to contemplate retirement or not reporting to company? Like, just release the rights immediately. You know what I mean? What do you like?
Exactly.
Also, wouldn't you have called the guy before you put the claim in? Like, hey, you just got released before all the claims are in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or anybody's putting a claim in, be like, is this something you're interested in? No. Okay, then we're not going to waste our fucking time.
Right. Well, I did see too. They released one of their like younger DBs to, I guess, make room for him or anticipate. Now, I don't know if they put the paperwork in on his release yet. But that'd be, I mean, that'd be hilarious. I don't know. Yeah. Again, like to your point, why wouldn't you check in with his agent or the player just to see if there's any like mutual interest?
Yeah, I think his
I
agent's
don't,
Drew Rosenhaus, so it's a guy that's
right.
definitely
It is.
available. You know what I mean? So
That's crazy. But it's not. Yeah. I mean, but they could. It's not even like the Eagles are their direct competition. I could see if maybe he wanted to go to an AFC team that they potentially feel could rival them in the playoffs or whatever. But we do see them later in the season. But I mean, is Slay going to be this make or break player that's going to win, us a football game? That's not going to be the case.
I mean, I would have been happy to see it. I think he's still got some left in the tank. I don't think he fit in Pittsburgh, and I do believe he wanted to
Right.
get back in the green, white, and black. So
I will
I
do a
was
hot
all
take
for it.
here.
I was all for it.
I will do a bold hot take. I will go out on a limb here because I think you sent it. You sent it to the group, and I immediately had this feeling of like a reunion. I'm going to
Yeah,
go on a limb here, and I'm going to say that he ends up playing for the Eagles. I do think he forces the Bills' hand. I think he would rather retire than go to Buffalo. And I think he pushes their hand. I think maybe Howie makes a phone call. Because look, the GM position, that's like a fraternity. There's only 32 of them. They work
there's not
closely. They
even
know each
32
other. Yeah. Okay.
because some of
What,
the
not 32?
owners are
Oh,
GMs.
yeah, yeah.
Like, look at
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Jerry Jones and shit.
like Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think you make a phone call, and I think he gets the release. I don't know.
I also saw now obviously we're loaded at linebacker, but Kaiser White was released as well.
I did see that, and people online too, like Eagles fans, were like bring him home immediately. Like you get this like the Howie season memes, and people go all crazy. And I'm thinking, yeah, like you. I mean, we don't
We
have
can't even
the.
get the guys we have on the field.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. Speaking of the linebacker position, our number one pick, Jahad Campbell, which he was having a great season. Now I get it. I get it. You have N'Kobe Dean, um, and you want to make room for that guy, but Campbell didn't see any defensive snaps against the Bears.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
criminal.
well, Fangio explained it as, they were gearing up to stop the run, and Dean's been better against the run, which Dean wasn't good against the run against the Bears.
Nobody was. They had 281
Yeah,
fucking
right.
yards
Yeah.
rushing.
I guess it's not fair to single out Dean, but
Yeah.
um
They were getting burnt, missing
yeah.
tackles. What are
Well,
you
so
gonna do?
let me ask you this. Like, okay, so and I've been critical on Howie's offseason. I think he let the champagne flow a little too much on the Super Bowl win. And maybe I mean you gotta look at it like every other team is hungry. They just saw a team win the Super Bowl. All their GMs, all their owners are the minute they're out, they're on the grindstone. They're plotting. And it's a great thing. We won the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I think he let it slip a little bit. And my point is, do you take Campbell knowing that Dean is going to come back and play lights out? Like, was there another position we could have addressed at that spot we were drafting? Like, do you see the Campbell decision as maybe like not the best, or am I off base here?
I mean, I know what you're saying, but I don't think they knew that Dean was gonna come back as soon as he did either.
And I get that. Yeah, I see. I see your point.
So I'm not sure. Obviously they were super high on the guy. They were trying to move up to get him. So,
Right.
but how, like, if you're that high on a guy, how can you got to get that guy on the field? You're
That's
stunting
what
his
I
growth,
mean.
not getting him any reps. So,
And he's I think he's a really good dude. He's very like team oriented, but I mean, look, he wants to be out there. He's no slouch. Um, he's the franchise's the team's first round pick. He's an Alabama guy. He's used to playing. If this goes on, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna go on long because Dean's gonna be out this year, which is tough.
yeah, we'll
Next year,
see.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting to watch.
See how it shakes out.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if Slay comes back or not. um, Chicago. Anything left on that game, or you want to flush it,
Yeah, I think flush it. I mean, I didn't see anything
get
that I
it
was
out?
too positive on. So,
Yeah.
what's the point?
Okay. All right. So let's move on to the Chargers here.
Yep.
The Birds are flying west. They're migrating west. And man, the Monday night games, those are such a drag, but um it'll be a good one. And I think it's not, I mean, not must win in the sense that the season would be over, but I think it's a must win.
Definitely a must win. You know, Herbert's questionable, so I mean that's 100%. You got to must win. If he doesn't
Yeah.
go, but I'm assuming he's going to go.
Yeah, it's his left hand. So I mean, I don't know. That's crazy to me. You get surgery on Monday. I mean, I get it, it's your left hand. He's a right hand thrower, but still, I mean, is the incision even healed at that point?
I have no clue. Maybe they'll tape it up real heavy, but yeah, you got to go and start tapping on that thing a little bit.
For sure. Yeah. So, whether they start Herbert or not, it could be Trey Lance. Could be Trey Lance time. I think it's definitely a must win. We talked about Jalen Carter. He's not gonna be there. Lane Johnson, the foot injury. So this is from the today's injury report from the Eagles practice. So he was a non-participant. Zach Bond, hands, limited participant. Jahan Dotson, toe, limited participant. Gibson, limited, which Jalen Phillips, concussed, limited. Marcus Epps, full participant. Hinton back, full participant. So I think we'll probably see Epps start over Brown.
Hopefully. Seems
Yeah.
like Vic said he was, trending that way.
Right. Yeah, it's all but confirmed. That concussion, man. I didn't notice that. Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, neither did I.
Just randomly concussed.
Yeah. Sometimes you
Oh,
wonder how
man.
it happens. It's crazy.
Yeah. And like, how do they pick up on it? So if it doesn't happen like if you don't pick up the concussion during the game,
I have no
do
clue.
they just afterwards? He's like he's showing symptoms, and so we'll see.
Weird. Hope he can go.
On the chart,
Hope he clears the
yeah,
protocol there.
on the Chargers side, looks like Herbert's they're kind of the big question here. He was limited. Tight end Fisk, elbow. He didn't participate. Defensive lineman Deshaun Hand did not participate. So looks like they're going to be pretty healthy. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's time to yeah put up or shut up. And if they go out there and play the way they've been playing, just absolutely abysmal.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap then.
It's a wrap. I mean, you got Dallas surging, and I hate to even talk about them in a positive light, but they're playing good ball, and it was like 2 weeks ago. Before the Dallas game, we're talking, look, you beat this. They were talking about clinching the division on Thanksgiving.
Yikes.
And now we could miss the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean the NFC is pretty crazy right now, actually.
Yeah, the Bears are the number 1 seed, which they're getting a little too cocky over there. I gotta say, I don't know, and I get the excitement. Obviously, they haven't had a lot to cheer about. I was gonna say recently, maybe a decade. Was it 2006 they went to the Super Bowl?
Man, I'd be feeling pretty good too if I rushed for 281 yards on one of the better defenses in the league. I mean, that's a fucking beating.
Man, just get out physical like that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh, I sent the group this. Yeah, somebody called out. I think this was on some social media platform, and the Dickerson carrying the cooler at training camp, and I knew something about that didn't sit right with me. I thought, like, why are you drinking beers at training camp? Getting all crazy. And now you cut to December.
Like you did something.
You cut to December. I don't know.
Crazy.
It seemed a little too lax.
Yep, I agree. Put the beers away, get back to work.
Yeah, put the beers away. I wanted to ask you, like, any positive outlooks that you have. I know there's a lot of negativity surrounding the team. Hit me with what you got.
I got one positivity thing here. Quinyon Mitchell being elite. So I got first in catch rate allowed, 41.9%. Second in tight windows forced, 40.5%. Second in average target separation, 1.8 yards. Third in passer rating allowed, 62.3. Tied for third in passes defended, 13. Fourth in yards after catch per reception allowed, 2.5. Has not allowed an opposing TD in 467 snaps, and has also covered the top 3 wide receivers in receiving touchdowns. I think it was like Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and one other guy.
That's crazy.
So there's my positive.
Man, he's a beast. He's in year 2. Is he maybe?
Yep.
I mean, if he continues to play like this, maybe highest paid cornerback.
Oh, for sure. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Pro Bowl this year for the young kid.
Yeah, all pro as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good for him. I'm excited for him. He's been a great player for us. Um, man, I
He's been
think
possibly the most consistent player for us this year.
for sure, for sure, yeah. Well, he didn't have, yeah. Well, they were barely throwing the ball. I was gonna say he didn't have a bad game against the Bears, but they weren't really tossing that rock.
Nah. Don't have to when you can run.
Well, this could be a positive here. AJ Brown, AJ AJ Brown the last couple of AJ Brown the last couple of games has been kind of getting going. Against the Bears, he had 10 receptions, 132, 2 touchdowns, had that amazing catch where he kind of
Yep.
cuts it back and man snags it. I don't know if he's going, he's feeling good, and maybe we get this run game going. It could all come together. Now I sound like some delusional fan trying to talk myself into it, but I don't know.
I mean, crazy you don't hear nothing about him, when he's getting his 132 yards and 2 TDs, you don't hear a word about him
Joyner said as
in the
much.
media.
I think
I'm enjoying
I
that,
think our
so
boy Seth Joyner said as much. Like I don't know. I think he called him a diva for like, yeah, now that you're like getting fed or something. I might be misquoting. I don't want to go
yeah, close
crazy
to
on
that
it,
is
but
what he said for sure.
yeah. And I think my other positive, too is we still have the Super Bowl MVP running the ship. Now I know it hasn't been maybe statistically the best season or the way we wanted it to look, but I mean, look, we have the team with the Super Bowl MVP less than a year ago was hoisting the trophy and the coach that was there with him. So, and, and I don't know, like I get the offensive line is, they're tired, maybe they're hurt, whatever. We still have Saquon Barkley. What if Saquon Barkley just decides to play at his the with the ability he's capable of? Just maybe on a he snaps his fingers and he's the Barkley we know. Is that possible? I don't know.
Or give Tank Bigsby a carry.
That would be solid.
Like some of the times
I like that.
when I see stuff like that, you don't have Camo getting a defensive snap. You don't have Tank Bigsby get one rush. It's like I don't think a high school coach would make mistakes like that. When you look at the numbers, blows my mind sometimes. It
Right.
just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think Bigsby should be getting more carries.
Yeah,
Or just like,
drives me
Saquon
crazy.
starts to get going and then they go away from it.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
kind of stuff. It's just crazy. I don't know. We'll see. I feel good about this. I feel good about this Chargers game. Um, I think get these boys out of the cold. Get them in a nice prime time spot.
You gonna go?
They got to bounce back. Am I going to go? I don't know. I don't think so. For me, it's just nowadays it's not really worth it. I think the like cheapest ticket to get in is about $200 and you'll be like nosebleeds. I don't know. To me, going to like a sporting event, it's kind of more of a hassle than it's worth. That's just
I
me. Like,
I get that because getting in and getting out of there. But as far
right.
as like nosebleeds, I think they're the best seats to sit in because you can see the best from all that. So
Oh yeah, I agree. I have nothing against the higher seats, but I mean, give me like a $90 ticket. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
$200 and you're all the way. Even like maybe it's standing room only. I don't even have a seat.
Yeah,
I don't know. And maybe we'll see. I don't know if it drops, whatever.
assess.
We'll play it by ear. We'll assess. Any bold predictions? Any should we do scores?
Yeah, bold prediction is the all. I guess I'll do the same as I did last week. The offense gets going.
Yeah, just keep saying it, dude. Just keep saying it.
Yeah, until it happens. But like I told you, what did I tell you?
Told you.
What did I tell you? Maybe the rushing game gets going, but I don't know. I don't know. I think the Eagles win. It's a must-win game. It's an absolute must-win game. Score-wise, I'm gonna go 21-17 Eagles. Close
Ooh,
game.
I like it. I was thinking you were gonna say 17. I had that in my. I had that. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I think. I don't know if I want to go out on a. I think we have a complete team win. I think this team is far too talented. Like just roster wise, I mean, coaching wise, like I mean, look, let's face it. I mean, Stout's still a great offensive line coach, and say what we will about Patullo. I mean, he's got the experience, right? Like, got to figure it out at some point. I think we start to figure things out on offense. I think defense gets back to their old form, their old selves, and yeah, I think we come out on top. And I think Tuesday morning we're feeling good about this team again. Maybe that's me just trying to be positive, but it's got to be something. I think Eagles win. I think it's going to be. Do I go on a limb? I think they put a third. We said 30 burger so many times. I'm going to say 31-24 Eagles. 31-24. And I think Herbert. I don't know. You got to think. You get your hand repaired or surgery. I don't know. I mean, you might feel a little weird. I think we shake him up a bit. But I think we get the win.
I like it.
And I might make some Cali burritos
Shoot.
or get some carnitas going.
Get some of them Eagles chicken nuggets popping.
I would love that. They want like $25 a bag.
Yeah. I have a bag at my house. I should have made them for the last game. Maybe it helped.
Pop them in there. All right. Well, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Any last words? All right. Go Birds.
Birds.